Do you know what all that rebar is for? It's actually the base of a wind turbine. Without it, a turbine standing hundreds of feet tall would be blown over by strong winds, and the construction process itself is extremely demanding. Even an experienced crew need around 12 days to finish it. First, workers have to tie those 46 tons of rebar into a single massive cage, all while using surveying instruments to measure the height with precision. Then, they pour in high-strength concrete. Once it cures, the foundation weighs about 1,916 short tons. At that point, workers haul in the turbine tower sections, each stretching over 100 feet. A crane lifts the tower into place. This is the most dangerous moment. Workers must stand beneath the crane, guiding the bolt holes in the tower to align with the bolts in the foundation. If they make a mistake, tens of tons of steel could come crashing down and crush them. Only after every single bolt is tightened is the job.
Ever wonder what happens to a submarine's engine smoke when it dives nearly 11,000 feet below the ocean? Surprisingly, there's no smoke at all. That's because the diesel engines shut down once it goes underwater. At that depth, the sub runs silently on giant batteries and electric motors. It only uses its engines when it resurfaces to recharge. So deep beneath the waves, it moves in total silence, with zero exhaust.
People thought this was really dangerous, seeing him use a carabiner with a small gap in it. But actually, that tiny gap helps climbers move smoothly along the safety cable on the cliff without reducing its strength. It's made for those who crave adrenaline rather than taking the obvious safer bridge on the other side.
This lets you build a house brick by brick without touching a drop of concrete. It uses what they call the click-click method, so you don't need any mortar or glue. The bricks just snap into place and they're already insulated too, so you're not adding anything extra. It really does feel like putting together a giant set of Legos.
Have you ever seen a wooden house built without a single nail? These houses are assembled like giant building blocks. No screws, no nails, no glue. Each wooden piece is precisely cut in the factory and labeled with a number. Just follow the order, and anyone can put it together. No special tools or professional builders needed, just a rubber mallet to tap the pieces into place. Within a few hours, you've got a complete house that's fast, simple, and affordable. The entire build can cost less than $3,000. It may look simple, but the design is incredibly precise. The structure is strong, well-insulated, and built to last. This building method breaks the rules of traditional construction and is getting a lot of attention. Still, some construction companies aren't happy about it. They worry that these low-cost, quick-to-build homes could disrupt the market. But for areas with tight budgets or limited materials, this could be the perfect solution.
Most people think this layer would protect the painting, but now it's actually damaging it. It's a varnish added after the painting to brighten the colors and block dust and moisture. But over time, it turns yellow or white, dulls the surface, and can even cause cracks. Now conservators are carefully removing the aged varnish, revealing the painting's true colors and original beauty.
Would you risk your life just to get to work? These fishermen do, every single day. Before they can cast their nets, they have to cross the break zone, a wall of massive waves that can flip their boat in seconds. They get only one chance to read the sea, speed up, and break through the wave at the perfect moment. If they fail, the ocean swallows them whole.
This method involves guiding goats through a narrow water channel as part of an old livestock care practice called a medicated dipping chute. The water may contain mild disinfectants to wash away dust, dirt, and parasites. The water level is kept shallow, just enough to clean their fleece without causing harm. In dry and dusty grazing areas, this helps maintain herd health and keeps the wool cleaner before shearing. It's efficient, low cost, and proves how herders manage large flocks with skill and limited resources.
China has built a new kind of river cleaning machine, and it looks like a mix between a boat and an excavator. But instead of digging, it collects floating trash at high speed using a special conveyor system. It scoops up plastic and waste from the surface of the water with amazing precision. These cleaning boats move easily along rivers and lakes, gathering garbage before it reaches the ocean. Thanks to this invention, tons of waste are removed every day, helping protect sea life and reduce pollution. It's a smart example of how technology can make our planet cleaner.
This is one of the most expensive liquids on Earth, worth up to $39 million a gallon. What you're seeing is a scorpion farm, where thousands of scorpions are being milked for their venom. This venom is so valuable because it contains powerful compounds used to develop new drugs and create tumor paints that help surgeons identify and remove cancer cells. They extract it by giving the scorpion a tiny, harmless electric shock, which causes it to release a drop of venom without hurting the animal. This machine is basically a treadmill for swimmers because the current is so powerful that if you don't keep pushing forward, it feels like the water could swallow you alive. You can actually see the stream tearing through the pool, forcing you to swim like your life depends on it. But in reality, it's not dangerous at all. It is actually carefully engineered to help pro swimmers build insane strength and sharpen their technique.
What's this worker doing? It might not be what you think. At first glance, it looks like mining, but in reality, they're building a tunnel. Most people are familiar with giant tunnel boring machines that slowly chew their way forward through soil and rock. But here the crew is using a different technique called the drill and split method. Here's the trick. Rock has very high compressive strength, meaning it's hard to crush by pressure, but its tensile and shear strength are much weaker. Engineers take advantage of that weakness. First, a hard rock drilling machine with a special bit bores a series of closely spaced holes along the tunnel outline, just as planned on the design. The cores are removed, leaving small gaps around the perimeter. Next comes the combination of manpower and tools. Depending on how tough the rock is, workers either chip away at it with hammers or use mechanical tools like splitters and hydraulic breakers to separate large chunks from the tunnel face. Bit by bit, the rock is broken, cleared, and the tunnel begins to take shape. By repeating this cycle again and again, what looks like simple rock cutting slowly transforms into a fully carved underground tunnel.
This is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. If you make it back safely, you can earn $20,000. If something goes wrong, your family would receive $2 million in compensation. This is the job of a construction diver, also known as a frogman. In many construction projects, workers need to drive piles deep into the ground. When dealing with particularly hard soil or rock, the drill bits can easily get stuck or fall off. These drill bits are made of alloy, and they are extremely expensive, so they must be retrieved. That's when construction divers are sent underwater. With limited visibility, they have to feel their way to secure the fallen equipment and then use a crane to lift it back up. The depth of these wells usually ranges from 65 to 1,000 feet. If the well walls are unstable, collapsing rocks and mud can instantly trap the diver. You can see why this job carries an extremely high risk factor. It really takes a lot of courage. Of course, this kind of work also comes with substantial pay. Would you dare?
This intense scene reflects real dangers seen in Spanish bull events. When a bull becomes agitated, it can aggressively search for its target and may even leap into narrow passages or try to escape, something that has happened in actual arenas. In traditional bullfighting, matadors stay calm under pressure, relying on precise timing and agility to avoid injury. In modern variations like recortes, performers don't use weapons and instead showcase acrobatic skills, sometimes jumping or flipping over bulls with split-second accuracy. Spanish bullfighting traditions have existed for centuries, demanding extreme courage and fast reactions.
As he drops this tiny fish into a glass bottle, he's adding to one of the most unusual farms on Earth, as each of these bottles holds a single baby betta fish. Because if they were kept together, they'd fight to the death. So instead, every fish lives alone, in a bottle that's reused and cleaned hundreds of times. But what makes this system so clever is how it's perfectly engineered, as some farms hold hundreds of thousands of bottles, and each bottle is designed with a small hole that lets old water drain as fresh water is poured in, making it easy to not only keep them clean, but to also feed them too, as they use thin tubes that carry tiny
This is
larvae
China's
directly into
container
each
loading
bottle,
war
making
machine.
sure that
Every day,
every
these guys
fish
push the
goes
laws
even.
of physics to the breaking point, finding mind-boggling ways to pack shipping containers. To them, if there's space, it's fair game. Putting an elephant in a fridge, not impossible. If there's even the tiniest gap, they'll find a way to squeeze something in. By the time they're done, the freshly packed boxes are so warped and bent, you can barely tell what they were. But nobody cares because every extra box means the shipper saves on freight and the workers get paid more. It's a win-win. The real fun starts when those containers finally cross the ocean and reach their destination. The moment the unloading crew swings the door open, they realize they're in for a nightmare. The cargo is packed so tight there's nowhere to grab. Pulling by hand? Forget it. They have to pry it out with crowbars or hook it with ropes. And those foreign workers will probably never figure out what kind of magic the Chinese used to pack it so perfectly, like it was built inside the container.
Have you ever seen a wooden house built without a single nail? These houses are assembled like giant building blocks. No screws, no nails, no glue. Each wooden piece is precisely cut in the factory and labeled with a number. Just follow the order, and anyone can put it together. No special tools or professional builders needed, just a rubber mallet to tap the pieces into place. Within a few hours, you've got a complete house that's fast, simple, and affordable. The entire build can cost less than $3,000. It may look simple, but the design is incredibly precise. The structure is strong, well insulated, and built to last. This building method breaks the rules of traditional construction and is getting a lot of attention. Still, some construction companies aren't happy about it. They worry that these low-cost, quick-to-build homes could disrupt the market. But for areas with tight budgets or limited materials, this could be the perfect solution.
This deherring process seen online shows a cow's head being coated in a thick black layer, cooled in water, and then peeled off to reveal smooth skin. Many assume it's asphalt, but it's actually rosin glycerin ester, a food-grade pine resin commonly used for removing animal hair. It melts easily, has strong adhesion, no bad odor, and is considered safe. When freshly melted, it's yellow, but repeated use with hair and residue makes it turn black. It's usually replaced after